This is the Low Key Podcast. I do not own the rights to the music that's being played in future podcasts or past podcasts. This is the Low Key Podcast, episode 43, Retro Review, Sugar Hill Review.
What's your name?
Romeo.
Are you serious?
No. And you're funny.
And you're very funny as well.
You're funny and you're fine.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you got a tag hanging in your dress. This is my brother, Romello. Hey, Romeo. Romello, the mellow fellow.
Between dreams and reality.
My brother was under the impression that you want to do some business.
It won't work. We can't work with Jakarta.
What is this kata?
Like American cotton picker.
Between trust and deception.
Romello's not that easy to handle. He's gonna see through this.
The decision's already been made.
Between Convent Avenue and St. Nick's.
The streets are mine.
What's going on? What's going on? You now tuned into the Low Key Podcast. This is episode 43, Retro Review, Sugar Hill. I'm going to be getting into one of my, I could call it a guilty pleasure for me. Because it's not one of the best movies in the world, but it's something that one of the movies I enjoy. I've watched it repeatedly. The name of this movie is Sugar Hill. This is starring Wesley Snipes and Michael Wright, Teresa Randall, and the phenomenal Clarence Williams III. Clarence Williams III, if you don't know, that's my man off Tales from the Hood, Hoodlum, everything, like a phenomenal actor. I feel like he's one of the most underachieved actors as far as just giving his recognition and everything. I feel like between him and Clifton Powell, the guy that plays Pinky, play in everything, man. I feel like these two guys, and it's more of these guys, like especially African-American actors, they just don't get that credit they deserve, man. And they done been in a lot of movies, but we're going to be talking about Sugar Hill. This movie came out in 1993. I'm not going to say it had some of that same storytelling, because if you don't know the story, the movie is about Wesley Snipes' character Romello, who's a drug dealer, and he's trying to get out of the game. And you got this story before. I mean, we got TV shows about this that's out now. Like this story has been told over and over and over. But like I said, it doesn't matter how many times you tell a story. It's how good is the execution of the story. Do you enjoy the characters of the story? And that's one of the things about the movie that you enjoy. I actually enjoy Wesley Snipes, Romello, and I enjoy his brother, which is Ray Nathan, played by Michael Wright. If you don't know who Michael Wright is the guy that played Eddie Kane in the Five Heartbeats classic. You already know. But anyway, basically, Romello is trying to get out. Romello, who's played by Wesley Snipes, he's trying to get out, and Ray Nathan, which is his brother, played by Michael Wright, he's all the way in as far as dealing drugs, staying in the life. He's all the way in. He does not want to get out. He wants to expand. He wants to do a lot more. He wants to do a lot of things. And these guys, Romello and Ray Nathan, they're coming off a really, really, really rough pass with their father, which is played by Clarence Williams III, and his name is A.R. Scuggs. And A.R. is on drugs real bad. He's a dope fiend. And it's not only that he's a dope fiend, the guy they're working for pretty much turned their father into that dope fiend. But there's so much history with Romello and the guy they're working for. And they're working for a couple Italian guys. And I can't name the guy that they're working for, the Italian guy, but I think he's been in a couple things. But they have a lot they're trying to do as far as the characters they're trying to get you to engage with in the movie. I mean, another thing, you got a young Donald Faison. You don't know who Donald Faison is. He was in the Clueless movies. He was in a lot of hood movies back in the day that I noticed. Donald Faison was in this, Sugar Hill. He was in New Jersey Drive. He was in a couple of them old school hood movies, man. But Donald Faison, man. He been in all them little funny joints. He was in, like I said, Clueless, and what's the other one, man? He been in a couple. He been in a couple, man. But anyway, as far as Sugar Hill go, like I said, you have these two brothers that's been in the drug life pretty much their whole life. I mean, their parents pretty much was deep into the drugs. They had a mother that was pretty much a dope fiend before their father became one, and he pretty much was the one that got her on it as far as how the story goes or whatnot. But just seeing the relationship between Wesley, I call Wesley nice, but seeing the relationship between Romello and Ray Nathan, that pretty much is the story and what pushes the film to make you kind of stay engaged with watching it. Because like I said, you've seen these movies before. Even with this coming out in 1993, if I'm not mistaken, you had New Jack City before he did this. Wesley Snipes just did New Jack City, which was another drug movie back in them days. I mean, maybe I got that wrong. I might have to go back and look, but I could have sworn there was a couple movies out like this. But man, this might have been one of. I got to go back and look, man. I know it was something out though, definitely. I mean, you had Menace to Society. You had, when Kane, was trying to lead the hood and trying to do something different. You had those type of films. Like you had these movies. I mean, Sugar Hill is not pertainly like a movie that's based in the straight up hood, but it's a gangster. It's basically one of those gangster films where you got the guy that's trying to get out, and he has the girl that he wants to leave with and get out with. Because like I said, you have a lot of these shows, and to be honest, I gotta say, Power has maybe got a lot of influence from Sugar Hill. I mean, Power got a lot of influence from a lot of things, because it's a lot of things that came before Power. But now that I watched that relationship with Wesley Snipes and Michael Wright's character, them playing brothers, you kind of can see that same thing with Tommy and Ghost. So yeah, I feel like they might have got a couple things from Sugar Hill, man. But like I said, you had these two brothers that's basically kingpins in their neighborhood, and they basically run pretty much the whole drug trade. And you end up having a new guy that comes in and he wants some of their territory. And the big guy that Ray Nathan and Romello is working for, the other guy that wants the territory that Ray Nathan and Romello has, he has to talk to the big guy, the boss of Ray Nathan and Romello. And the big boss basically wants everybody to, I guess, kind of work together, do what they're doing. It doesn't really matter to Romello, and that's Wesley Snipes' character, because as far as Romello, he, like I said, wants out. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He wants, if anything, he's like, okay, I want to leave. If you don't want to come with me, as far as him talking to his brother, he's like, I want to leave the business to you. You take over. You do everything. And his brother is like, nah, this is us. Like, we in this together. Ray Nathan, Michael Wright's character, is like telling Wesley Snipes' character, Romello, like, because they're brothers. And he's like, no. He said, we in this to the end. Like, he wants them basically to run the whole thing together into the end. This movie was directed by Leon Itso. I have not heard of this dude since, or never have heard of any other movie. It was written by a guy named Barry Michael Cooper. I mean, maybe he's done a couple more things, but I ain't heard of this director, Leon Itso. I mean, and this is like, man, I done seen some bad movies that other directors done, and I done seen them do more movies. So maybe this guy didn't want to do anything else, but yeah. But as far as, like I said, you have Romello, who always checks up on his father, which is, like I said, AR, which is played by Clarence Williams III. And AR is a dope fiend. And he pretty much goes by to feed him, goes by to see how he's doing or whatnot. And you can see that's another reason why Romello really wants out of the drug game, because he sees what the drugs have done to his family. And the fact that he's pretty much working for the guy that pretty much put his family into this whole drug thing is kind of the thing that he's struggling with. And that's another thing that kind of gives you that engagement. We want to keep going with the story and keep going with the plot. Like I said, this ain't no Oscar-worthy movie. This ain't one of the best movies. Like this movie, this whole plot line, this whole setting for this movie and everything, this has been done better. I can't say that, but this doesn't take away from this movie and what it has to bring as far as what it's doing with the Wesley Snipes falling in love with a girl that he wants to leave the drug game or whatnot. Because like I said, I've just seen this so many times. So that's where I get kind of my point of view from it. But me going back and actually seeing what year this made, I might have to go and check and see if it was other movies made within this timeline that involved this type of storytelling. But like I said, you did have Menace to Society. And I know Menace to Society came out before this. So I think you kind of had those elements there with it too. But as far as the acting, like, you can give me, you get a bad movie, but everybody's on their game on this acting shit in this Sugar Hill. Like, you talking about Wesley Snipes, like you had a guy like Wesley Snipes, like I said, is so dimensional with his acting. Like, he can go from doing a kung fu movie, beating up a motherfucker, a big action movie, to a whole different dramatic movie. I could say like a New Jack City, and even to this, because he ain't beating up nobody in this or whatnot. He's doing his thing in this. So, and as far as Romelo's relationship with Teresa Randall, who plays Melissa, I mean, I wasn't too engaged with what they had going on. I just wasn't, because I felt like he kind of let her know what was going on with him, and the way she kept kind of back and forth with him, and her whole setup with what she had going on. Like, I wasn't engaged so much with what she had going on, and when them two was together, it just wasn't engaging to me. I wasn't into it. I didn't want to know nothing else that was going on with them, so I kind of like just let their story go on about his business or whatnot. Like, because I didn't really enjoy their whole story until basically the end, when the whole confrontation with his brother or whatnot, and them just, you know what I'm saying, that whole exchange and what went down with that. But as far as Michael Wright, the guy that plays Wesley Snipes' brother in the movie, Ray Nathan, like, man, Michael Wright definitely one of them actors too that needs his credit for what he did, especially in the 90s, man. And I love his character in this movie. I do. I love his character in this movie, man. He got one particular scene where they pretty much got a guy that got revenge on this guy that killed one of their friends or whatnot, and him and his hitman, Michael Wright, Ray Nathan, him and his hitman, they out there singing a song. It's just another love TKO. Wow, shooting the dude in the kneecap, singing and shit. Like, that shit I'm sorry, man. That shit was funny to me. I'm just tripping out because the acting is so good. It's one of the things. The acting is so good, man. And you just tripping off this dude. Like, you know, he ain't all the way there. He kind of out there. As far as Ray Nathan, you know, he ain't like Wesley's character, Romelo. You like, he kind of shell, like, he'll go there. But just saying, like I said, it's a lot of good acting in this movie. That's the thing that really pushes this film to being better than a lot of those other TV shows or movies that has the same kind of story going on. It is that acting. You talking about Wesley, Michael Wright, you talking about Clarence Williams III, talking about Teresa Randall. Like I said, you're talking about a lot of good actors. And like I said, the guys that played the Italian guys, the Italian mob guys in this, there's some more good actors for you right there. And damn, I can't come across the dude's name, but he's one of the main villains in the story. You seen this guy before, man. Damn, I wish I could remember his name. I'm sorry, I can't. I should have did a little bit more of my homework, but he's another good actor in here. If you see the movie, you know who I'm talking about. He has the goatee on his face. He's a dark-skinned guy, kind of got the curly hair or whatnot, but you know who I'm talking about, man. But there's a lot of good acting in this movie, and that kind of pushes the story farther than it should go, just because, like I said, this story ain't telling nothing new, and with everything it has going on with them being like the kingpins of the neighborhood or whatnot, it's not giving no new look or new outlook on things that's going on as far as movie going experience, I could say. Because like I said, you've seen this, and this coming out in 1993, if I'm not mistaken, Menace to Society came out, 1992? And you had, you know, that same, like I said, premise of Kane doing what he was doing and him trying to get out the hood, falling in love with the girl or whatnot. And this has that similar ending. It does. It has somewhat that same similar ending. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people seen this. I don't feel like I'm giving nothing away because I really ain't even really gave the ending away. But man, if you haven't seen Sugar Hill, because like I said, this ain't one of the movies that I hear a lot of people talking about too. So yeah, I think maybe a lot of people have slept on this and they ain't really checked this out. This is one of Wesley Snipes' more lesser known movies, I would say. Lesser known movies. So if you ain't seen Sugar Hill, you definitely should check it out, man. And like I said, if you don't check it out just for the story, you check it out for the acting. I'm telling you, there's some good acting in this. Some good acting from Wesley Snipes. I feel like he brought his A game, but Clarence Williams III, he's still a movie. I'm telling you that. He plays their daddy, A.R. Scuggs. He steals this movie. But yeah, you definitely should check this out, man. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, give my little perspective and my opinion on one of my favorites. Like I said, this is one of my guilty pleasures, something I go back to now and then and check out and be like, yeah, I can sit and watch this. It's one of them joints, you see it coming on the TV and you're like, oh, let me check this out right quick. I'll check this out and watch it. It ain't one of my favorites, but it's one of them ones I think if you ain't seen in a long time, you would definitely sit there and watch it and check it out. Like I said, if you ain't watching it just for the plot of storytelling, you'll watch it for the acting alone. I'm telling you, the acting to me is that good in this movie. But I just wanted to, like I said, take a time out to give my retro review of Sugar Hill. Thank you for tuning in to the Low Key Podcast. This is episode 43.